So this area at the top of most of our pages is considered a slider. It's like a little photo and text slideshow. And in order to control the slider, we need to go back to our control area here. And if we were on one of these menu bars here, we would want to go all the way down to where it says Revolution Slider. That brings up the Revolution Slider menu area, and inside this area we have a couple of different sliders that we're using. I think the ones that are active right now are Main Slider and Slider 3. Main Slider is the one that you see on the main page. Really quickly I can go in and edit the slides. And when that comes up, you'll see the 4 images that we have in this slider. Now, if we wanted to get rid of one of these images really quickly, we could just click delete, and then we could save that slider setting. And that would actually end up changing the slider on the website immediately. If we want to make changes to something that's on the slider, it's a little bit more challenging. Right now I'm going to add a slide for the new phone number to the Revolution slider, and I figured I'd just make a movie of it so that you could see how it worked. So right now each of these sliders are actually nothing more than JPEG images that I insert into the slide. There is a way to actually edit the slide itself, and you can make your own combination of images and text and background animations in order to make the type of slide that you want. It's not all that complicated, but it does take a little bit of experimentation to really get it down well. That's why I choose to do everything using Photoshop, where I have a lot more control over the look of each slide, and then I bring it into WordPress as just an image. So that's what we're going to do really quick. I'm going to switch over to Adobe Photoshop right now, and here in Photoshop you see one of the slides that we have on our website. If you're familiar with Photoshop, I'll show you how this is set up. If not, I'll try and move quickly through this so that I don't overwhelm you with new information. But I have folders over here in the Layers menu of Photoshop. This is why a lot of people like to work with Photoshop, because within one project I can have multiple things open at once. So slide 1 is in this folder here, and if I turn that off, you see that I have a blank template. But if I go ahead and I turn on slide 2, here are all of my elements for slide 2. And see, each one is layered onto the screen. So I have my image, I have the little bar, I have a text, and I have a second piece of text, and then that's all within this folder called slide 2. So right now I want to make slide 5, and so I have a folder here for slide 5, and the first thing I need to do is to bring in an image. So I am going to open a new image. I've already decided to use one of the building exteriors. I think it's called sign number 4. And I'm going to open that. So I have this in a new project, and really quickly I am going to select it, and I'm going to cut it out, and I'm going to move it over to my new project, and I'm going to go ahead and drop it off. And now I have a new image here called layer 5. I'm going to move that up into slide 5. So now you can see here I have that. It's very large. I'm going to have to resize it really quick using a transform option. So I'm going to transform it down and then move it back in until it fits this space. See, this space that I've defined here is really the size of the slider. So I know that when I design an image that it's going to fit well in the slider because I've used this space. Okay, so let's arrange that here. Something like this, maybe a little smaller because I want a big blank area for my writing to go in. A little bit bigger. Need to go even a little larger. Okay, that's good. I double click and that's going to set itself into place. Now I'm going to grab some of the things from the other sliders. So I think I'm going to grab this bar. Okay, so I can have this big blank piece, and I can now move this over here, drop it off there, and then I'm also going to be able to go down. Oh, I need to put a copy of this back. Okay, I can also grab a piece of text, and I can move that. I'm going to make a copy of that and take it up here, and then I'm going to get the small piece of text and drag that up here. So now each of these pieces are here. When I click on one, I can move it over here and arrange it where I want. I can get the other one and I can move it where I want. And now I'm going to go to the top one and change what it says. And so really quickly I will use my text file, text editor. So it's going to be, say, how about, new CTEC phone number. Let's make this a little smaller. New CTEC phone number. I don't know. It's not so classy looking. But let's get it done really quick and put it up, and then I'll adjust those things after the movie part is finished. Okay. And so CTEC, how about this? This is what you had in your email. CTEC has a new phone number. Okay, and then down here, you know, we had a paragraph before. I'm going to try and simplify it a little bit. So let's go down here and let's say, please note our new number. And let's type it in here, 503-399-5511. This will be our permanent number. Please leave a message if you don't reach someone. We will, if you leave your contact info, we will get right back to you. Oh, that's chunky. I'm going to revise that in a little bit, but I'd like to just finish this video really quick. So I have these pieces in here. I can arrange them if I need to. And once I'm done with the arrangement and I'm happy with how this is set up, then I'm going to go in to my file menu and I can save this for the web, which turns it into a simple JPEG file. And we're going to call this slider_5. and I'm going to go ahead and save that to my slider images folder. And I can go back into the website now, and I can say, here I am now on the Revolution Slider tab again, over here on the left. And inside this Revolution Slider, I'm going to create a new slide. And I need to upload a new file. Let me select this slider 5. Okay, so I've got slider 5. Well, I have quite a few options for places that I'm keeping things right now. I need to simplify that soon. Slider images, slider 5, open that. And it's uploading. As soon as I see this blue bar go away, then I'm going to be able to insert it. And the slide has been created. There it is, slider 5. And I want to reorder these. I'm going to move. No, I like that. I just want to make it the first slide. That's going to take a bit of research. Okay, here we go. So we're going to take slider 5 and put it up in the front. Sorry if that moved a little bit quick, but if we go back to the Revolution Slider, and here's my main slider again. So I went back to the main Revolution Slider page. I went to main slider, clicked on edit slides, and here I have the slides list, and I could say that I wanted to edit one of the slides. And when I get the menu for editing the slides, I have all of my slides across the top. So right now this is slider 5, slider 1, slider 2, slider 3, slider 4, and then I could just add a slide. Now up here, if I want, I can take slider 1, and that was just the name that I assigned it. It doesn't have to be the first one you see, and I could move that. And I can make it the second one in the sequence. So now it goes slider 5, slider 2, slider 1, slider 3, and slider 4. Okay, so I just did that so that every time somebody visits the page, the first thing they see is CTEC has a new phone number. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to the bottom of this so I can update the slide. And once it's updated, we can go back to our web page. Let's refresh the home page and see that we get our new phone number. There it is. Alright, so that's the end of the movie. I'm going to go in and clean up the slide a little bit to make it more attractive, but that is a little bit about the Revolution Slider and how we change the images that I have on the main screen.